Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're going to do a Christopher Mitchell video and a recap of his Business Bro podcast. If you guys get a chance, go over to Business Bro podcast and check out the interview he's done with your friend and professional scammer, Christopher Mitchell. You know, he had him on a podcast and he asked some really tough questions that he really broke Christopher Mitchell down, absolutely broke him down. Almost Jordan-like, LeBron-like. He just broke this, you know, I'm telling you, 2, 3, 4 minutes into the video, I'm sure Christopher Mitchell was thinking, man, this wasn't such a good idea. You could tell by Christopher Mitchell watched the video, you could see his mannerisms, his body language, his facial expressions. And, you know, he during the interview, and this is just my retake on it, okay? His body image, his business, his language, and the way he was trying to divert some questions. And the interviewer did an excellent job because he kept right going back to Christopher Mitchell on the same questions. And it said, like, give you an example. He says, he asked him about winning. And Christopher Mitchell had to reluctantly, this guy was tenacious, the interviewer. He said, well, no, very few people can win doing my system. Very few. They have to follow it to the T and they have to be tenacious. Well, guys, look, he admitted when he first started, he lost $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. That's a gambling degenerate just like he is now. Guys, you're gonna go to a learning curve and lose $200,000, $300,000, $400,000? For real? I mean, I know some of you guys have addictions to gambling. You just gotta deal with that, you know, reach out to me, you know, and we can discuss that, but you guys gotta shake that addiction. But, you know, you can see Christopher Mitchell kind of, you know, if he could hit, you know, now he can't hit deletes. Guys, you can go over there and read his comments. You can watch the video. Christopher Mitchell did himself a lot of harm. Like I said, when he was starting out this video and it was starting to get a little questionable, he was, you know, if he had left the set, that would have showed his scamming ability ways. But he tried to tough it out and talk about his sad story with his mom and his dad's abuse and all that stuff. And it just did not take anything away from the interviewer. He stayed on Christopher about the winning ways and how you can win at these negative expectation games, which you can over the long haul. And Christopher Mitchell was totally outclassed. This would have been stopped in the second round. I mean, it just, he was, Christopher Mitchell, being the professional scammer as he is, you know, this was a big mistake going online looking like this. I promise you, this hurt him. All these little other interviews he has in these fake magazines and fake online publications that he's been claiming to be in, they're all, you know, paid for and fake. This interview was not, you know, Christopher Mitchell can't delete the comments. Christopher Mitchell has scammed literally hundreds of people. That's why his channel's so dangerous. New people come in all the time and 99.9% winning, 99.9% winning. Guys, forget that. It's not possible. That's why I always say these Japanese and these big whales that come in and Chinese and all these foreign people that think they're going to come into Vegas, they give hundreds of thousands of dollars to these casinos, if not millions. They're not going to win. If they thought they could martingale, Mitchell-gale, whatever you want to call it, and keep doubling, that just digs the hole deeper because you're going to lose 3, 4, 5 in a row. I promise you that. You're going to lose it, and they're going to call you on your bet. That's why they have the table limits. That's why he's now, if you go back 2, 3 years, he said, you know, never gamble online. It's a big scam. There may be some truth to that, but now he's telling you can because you can get in for 10, 15, what is it? 50 cents a dollar, you know? So, you know, here's what's funny. He says how he's rich. He's a millionaire, multi-millionaire. Well, 2, 3 years ago, he was dead broke, losing hundreds of thousands of dollars. Look, you don't have the knowledge and the ability to give advice when you just found this 2 years worth of, I can't even say 2 years because we're coming out of a pandemic. I mean, he writes this cheesy little book, The $1 Million Blueprint. $1 Million Blueprint supposed to make you $1 million bucks. Where are all those people? And if Christopher did that when he wrote the book, he'd be a multi-millionaire several times, people. Come on, just follow some logic. That's all I tell you to do is follow logic. You know, they asked him about a tax question. How do you pay taxes? Well, Christopher Mitchell dodged that question 100%, and the guy told him how he does it. Christopher Mitchell said, well, I hire the best of the best, and I have a tax consultant handle that for me. Yeah, sure you do, Christopher. You don't pay any taxes. You don't even report anything. So anyways, so the goat looked really foolish. The guy even pinned him down on the goat. A goat, he looks so foolish. He almost couldn't even answer the question because he's not the best gambler of all time. He's not even, he's the only reason that Christopher Mitchell makes this crazy, stupid money is the Zach Joneses, the Brandon Wingirders of the world send him money, believe in him. They get on this rah-rah bandwagon. It's absolutely insane what people do to try to think they're going to be like Christopher Mitchell. He has all the money laid out on his bedspread. He has he's ironing these $100 bills to make him crisp. This guy's he's addicted to money. And I'm telling you, this guy has went through his wife's divorce money, and now he has to lure people in because he's not going to get rich in the casino like he says. The risk to reward for what he's trying to do is not there. And anything, always remember that when you're risking, remember what the reward is. Don't do something like he was putting in when he was doing his sports betting. All these crazy parlays with the same teams linked into all this. So once you lose that parlay, you lost your next 4 or 5. Sometimes he had them in 7 or 8 bets. That's the problem. He never thought his sports strategies out before he put videos out there. I mean, if you know anything about sports gambling, especially baseball, it'll blow your mind, the stuff he did. It'll just shake your head. Shake your head when you saw that. You're thinking, wow, this guy's a complete moron. So he couldn't answer the tax questions. He couldn't answer the sporting questions. He said he lost in World Cup. He said he never loses, but he said he got destroyed in World Cup betting. He can't show the winning ticket on Michigan when they played Ohio State, or he'd show that because he's an Ohio State fan, and fanboys like Christopher aren't going to bet against their own team. It's just like I have tons of people that I know, they'll never bet against the Dallas Cowboys. They'll never do it. So he goes on and he says, the interviewer asked him, this is a great question that you guys have been asking him for really years now. And the question went like this: do you play live? And of course, Christopher Mitchell answered, yes, I play live all the time. All the time. But here's the difference. This is where Christopher Mitchell is such an idiot. And I know it upsets all you guys that watch these videos. He doesn't play live. Live means you're playing live. He plays live pre-recorded so he can determine whether or not, if he's going to air that video. So he'll record it live, yes, but it's not live where you're watching live. Like I could do a live chat right now or a live video where I'm live. There's that, and once it goes live, you guys have access to it. My point is this: the interviewer, basically pinned him down, and he looks stupid because he does not film his sessions live. If he's done it once or twice, I don't know but it doesn't matter. He says he tries to say he's always live, and they're pre-recorded. And I guarantee you, if that fifth or sixth martingale didn't win, he showed a couple where he lost, and he lost his what. He's screaming at the camera. He doesn't know how to scam good. He's not a good scammer is his problem. That's why I said, that's why I'm going to give Christopher Mitchell, you take one note. I'm going to throw you one bone here. If you want to really try to make this scamming work on YouTube, quit being so cocky like you're an elitist goat. That's where you lose a lot of people. Not that you wouldn't lose people like me anyway, because I don't believe any of your nonsense or any of these people, any of these channels that promote winning strategies in gambling. I just don't believe it. So just be a regular guy. I've heard this from a couple of people. Just be a regular guy. Be a humble, regular guy. But see, you can't do that now, so you're stuck with the persona that you're doing, the fool that you are, the fakeness that you are, and the scammer you are. You're not even a good scammer. That's what I tell people that are scammers. Be a good scammer. You're not even a good scammer, you know? So the GOAT thought this isn't such a good idea when he was about 3 minutes into this interview and he was trapped. He couldn't walk out. He couldn't do anything. He can't delete the comments on this guy's video. So there's people hammering him pretty hard. I mean, very hard. And if he could delete this stuff, that's why when he leaves, you leave comments on his stuff and it's deleted, because he doesn't want the truth. He wants people to think he's really all what he's trying to portray. And the house of cards is really starting to fall now. You know, to anybody to put $5,000-$10,000 to go pay this guy to see this guy, man, you got to be really somebody that's earning a lot of money, somebody that's ran businesses. He said his MLM businesses crumbled. Everything he said, he even, this is a quote, he said, everything I've done before gambling failed. I failed at everything. You know, he failed at everything. Does that tell you anything? Does that tell you everything? I don't know a 44-year-old guy that's failed at everything he's ever done. They're bound to do something that they haven't screwed up. So he says his MLM days, you know, claims to be rich. You know, if you know, why didn't you just make a fortune? You ought to be saying how you made a fortune on the MLM $1 million blueprint scam. That didn't work out for you. So, you know, he can't delete the comments. He can't get the guy to do anything. The guy, you know, how Christopher Mitchell agreed to do this video with Business Bros Pod, I don't know. But right now, I guarantee you, Stacy's laughing at him. You got to be the stupidest. You know what? Your ego let you go do a podcast with a guy, and this guy owns you, Christopher. You could not answer, and you could not look more fake, foolish, angry. Your mannerisms, your body image, you were melting down. You may not know that, but look at it. Especially your face got flushed a few times. You got red. You know. Your ego took a big blow in that video. You know, you put these 99.9% winning guaranteed. You even said in the video, most people aren't going to make it. They're not going to make it. It's not for everybody. But you over there making this thing like, oh, it's so easy. It's so easy. It's not easy. Zach and all these people, just think, Zach Jones, the realtor, he's got to be, I mean, once you hit that losing streak, your wife, they're going to laugh at you, if not just get pissed off at you. I don't even think laughing is it. I mean, it's just not going to work. I mean, Stacy's so beat up, she can't do nothing about it. She's stuck with this guy. You know, she's stuck with him. More power to you, Stacy. Try to get your life in order and get rid of this guy. You know, so the GOAT really looked foolish and a fish out of water. He really did. He never looked so foolish, especially when he kind of tried to distract the interviewer by giving the same old mom and dad sob story. He tried that. You know, he tried to say how he overcame all these things, and now he's so rich and successful, and he stays at all these places. The interview went right back into the questions. Christopher Mitchell was like, oh man, that distraction didn't work. Then the guy asked him a couple of questions, and Christopher Mitchell said, I donate to all these charities, the homeless, the less fortunate in third world countries, the sex trafficking for young children. Of course, that distraction didn't work. Christopher Mitchell's trying to do everything he can to distract himself and try to build his image. That's what MLM people try to do. They try to, you know, get back off the questions that you're pinning them down to and go into something that they're comfortable, that makes them look good. You know, so just think about some of the things. Let me look at some of these other little things here. The mom and dad stories, we already covered that. Where all the $1 million that you made from the $1 million blueprint, we covered that. His MLM days, he lost a fortune and all that. He sold his business for peanuts. He never was really successful in making money. He said he made good money at one time, but that fell apart. eventually all this stuff falls apart, his scamming ways, because the only way you're going to really succeed in this world, spend less than you make, get a JOB. It does not stand for the JOB that Christopher Mitchell says, just over broke. It's a great thing to have a job. It's what 99.9% of what Americans do, except for people like Christopher Mitchell. So, guys that are out there going to the mastermind groups, I hope you guys that were on the yacht learned your lesson. I hope the guys that you show up at his meetings learn your lesson. Don't pay $5,000 to a guy that's never had a job. Think about that. You're paying money to a guy that's never had a job. He has no life experiences, no job experiences, no nothing. You're going to pay somebody to tell you what? To gamble for a living? Guys, here I'm going to give you the free gambling advice so you never have to pay Christopher Mitchell a dime. Go in with the big bankroll. Check. Play online if you're a small gambler. Check. You got those two? Big bankroll or play online so you can play small bets. Check one and check two. Double every time you lose until you win or you run out of money. Got it? That's Christopher Mitchell's strategy. You don't have to pay him a dime. People have got suckered out of so much money giving him money for little notebook papers of all kinds of stuff. Look, when the guy told me never split aces, God, I love when I get two aces, Never split aces. That's when you know you're in a lot of trouble, when somebody tells you don't split aces. So guys, go over to Business Bros, B-R-O-S, Business Bros Podcast, P-O-D. You can see the interview for yourself. Tell them Double Jackpot sent you. Guys, you'll enjoy it. Guys, if you could do me a big favor for you guys that have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. In the comment section, I want to do another video on just this. But guys, if you do leave a comment, tell me the city or in the state you're from. I want to get and see if I have subscribers all over the United States. I'd like to know. Maybe I can include your city or a shout out to that area if I know anything about it. But I think it'd be kind of interesting to find out where a lot of you guys are from. I know we got a lot of people in Michigan and Florida, and I'm here in Texas, right inside of Houston, Texas. So guys, I enjoy doing these videos, so leave me your questions and comments. If you ever have to email me, doublejackpot01@gmail.com. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you on the next video.